Hi everyone, I'm Lauren and welcome back to my channel. This is Lauren's Literary Library, where I talk about all things books and my writing journey. And today I'm going through an unhaul, which is why you find me on the floor, because I cannot hold all of these books. I'm not sure how many books I've got to unhaul in this video, so I'm going to leave like a running tally somewhere that I will keep updated as I'm editing through, and editing Lauren is going to love me for that, but I haven't counted. I've just been collecting books to unhaul since I moved house. I think I've got rid of quite a few already, so this is just like the last sort of remnants of my unhaul of the year. These are also in no sort of particular order, so let's get started with whatever I can pick up first. The first book that I have to unhaul is If I Stay by Gail Thorman. This is a YA mystery thriller. I don't really know what the thingy is behind it. I don't think it says on the back either. It was an interesting read. I remember I read this in, I want to say 2015, because I remember flying back to Madrid and reading the ending of it and just crying. It was the only way to like, I just was sobbing for probably an hour on a flight to Spain. So I know it was in, I'm sure it was like 2015 that I read this. I'm not sure if I'll ever read it again, which is one of the reasons why I'm getting rid of it. I'm trying to like streamline my shelves and try and give myself a little bit more space. And this one unfortunately just hasn't made the cut. I did enjoy it, I think, if I remember right. I gave it 4 stars. I'll have to like look up my Goodreads review and put like some sort of information here to say what I actually reviewed this as. But I know I enjoyed the book at the time, but it's just not one I think I'll pick up, and I think once you've read this one once, you don't really need to read it more than once, but maybe it's because it just didn't have that much of an impact on me. The next book I'm unhauling is Neris in India's Idiot-Proof Diet, How We Lost 10 Stone and How We Keep It Off by India Knight and Neris Thomas. I think I got this from a magazine, and I probably got this from a magazine in like 2012, 2013. I've never read it. I don't know if I've still got it. This is one of these books that just like followed me around. I don't really care, to be honest, about it. I'm not into like sort of like dieting culture or anything like that, so I don't know why I ever stuck around with it. I think I was just intrigued to see like what their process was and like their points of view, but I'm never gonna read it. The next book I have is Pay It Forward by Catherine Ryan Hyde. I don't know anything about this book. This is definitely one that I've picked up in a charity shop at some point and just put on a shelf. I don't have any strong opinions towards it. I don't even know what it is, so it's just going into the unhaul pile. The next one I have is Marianne Keyes, The Other Side of the Story, and the reason I'm getting rid of this one is because I already have it. I have this twice. I think I picked it up in a charity shop, and then a few years later I was like trying to collect all of Marianne Keyes' books, and I picked it up again. Didn't realise it was the one I had because it was a different cover. So I'm getting rid of this one because I don't need 2 copies of the same book. I'm not collecting like styles or variations of it, so this is why this one's going. The next book that I am unhauling is My Best Friend's Girl by Dorothy Coomson. Again, I think I picked this up in a charity shop. I don't know when I picked this up. I don't know when it came out. I don't even really know what it's about. I'm not interested in it. It's not something I think I will enjoy anymore. I think I just like went through I started doing Marianne Keyes and then I started trying to like pick up books like sort of like tangentially related, and I just don't think this is one that I'm going to enjoy. Again, the same with this one. This one is December by Elizabeth H. Winthrop. It looks like it's set in New England around Christmas. I feel like it could be some like sort of family trauma book. Not entirely sure. This one potentially I could have found interesting, but like I've got zero desire to read it with the amount of books that I already need to read and I've got to read. It's just one that like I'm not really invested in picking up at the moment, and it's just taking up space on my shelves. I don't know where I got this one from. This is Bloom and Falling by Frank Barnard. It's a novel of fighter pilots in World War II. Literally have no idea where I've picked this up. I'm not really interested in World War II. I do love history, but that period, like, I enjoy reading historical information, but it's not like something that is my favourite period of history. I have no idea why I have this. Literally zero. I probably picked it up from someone else, forgot to give it them, and now it's on my shelves. These two I'm going to talk about together. So I've got A Clash of Kings and A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. I don't think you can see, but I do have like the full set of these books behind me. I don't need these two. I picked them up at a car boot. I think it's because I was trying to pick them up because I forgot that I'd got a full set of them. I don't need them twice. But yeah, so these ones are gonna go. I've also got Maeve Binch's Full House. There's also like, it's maybe a companion book, 'cause it was only £1.99. I don't know where I've got this from, definitely a charity shop. I don't know what it's linked to. I've never read any of her books. I think I've got one somewhere up there that I picked up by accident. Yeah, I just don't think I'm gonna read it. I mean, I've probably had it for at least 10 years and I've not read it yet, so I don't envision me reading it in the near future. I think this is potentially the only book where I've like started reading it and DNF'd it, and that's Nora Roberts' Year One. I picked this up for a book club that I'm part of. I think I got up to page 40. Yeah. It's a post-apocalyptic book. The first 40 pages focus on like how the apocalypse starts. It's like a virus-based thing with magic. It sounded really good, but I literally didn't care at all about the characters. Got to 40 pages in and I was like, we've been shown all these characters who are dead. We've been shown all this information that I feel like isn't important. I read what other people had said about it in the book club, because it's an online one, and they said that it seemed really rushed and that there wasn't enough focus on like specific parts, and that ruined it for them. So I feel like if I had continued, it wasn't something that I would have enjoyed. So I'm getting rid of it because I just don't see the point in wasting my time on a book that I was not enjoying and I was having to push myself through. I'm also unhauling The Snowman by Jo Nesbo. I read this for another book club, I think in like 2016, I want to say I read this. I really enjoyed it. I did really enjoy this sort of like, is it like a cop thriller, crime fiction? I don't know what the genre is. I did like it. I watched the adaptation and was like, no wonder everyone hated this film, because it was so completely different to what this book was. Another case of where the book was a hell of a lot better than the film. The intrigue in this was really good. I liked the way that the storyline progressed, but because now I know what's happened, I'm not really interested in going back and reading it again, so unfortunately it's going in the unhaul pile. I'm also unhauling Papillon by Henri Charrier. Oh, apparently it's the greatest true story of escape and adventure ever written. Oh, it's an autobiography. I literally have no idea what this is about. I think I picked it up because it was in French, because I studied French at uni. I think that is like the limit of why I picked this up. I don't really know anything about it. Someone else would probably really enjoy this, but not me. I'm also unhauling Put Your Mindset to Work. I think I got this from LinkedIn or Reed. I know that I signed up for a job site back in 2014, 2015, and they sent me a book. I don't think I ever read it. I literally don't think I've even opened this book. I don't know why they sent it to me. It seems like a waste of postage and paper, but yeah, a book that I've never read. I believe that this is 2 books in one, called Now I Know and The Toll Bridge by Adrian Chambers. This is books, or like at least volumes 3 and 4 in a series. I don't know what the first 2 are. Again, I've picked it up in a charity shop. I probably picked it up because the cover was purple, because I am that shallow. I don't really know much about it. I don't see the point in having like the middle of a series when I don't even know what the rest of it is, and it doesn't really look that intriguing to me. It's not something that now when I'm looking back at it, I think, oh yeah, definitely want to get the first 2 and the last 2. So someone else can hopefully find a good place for this. I've also got Dizzy by Kathy Cassidy. I think I picked this up at a car boot. It was probably with a lot of Jacqueline Wilson books, because my sister really loves Jacqueline Wilson, so I was picking up books for her, and I think this might have been part of it. I've never read it. I don't have any plans to. It was definitely an accidental purchase. I'm also getting rid of Louise Candlish's I'll Be There For You. This looks like a really small one. It says on the back, not for resale, so I'm assuming this is definitely like some sort of magazine book. Probably picked it up from a charity shop. Again, I think it was in my Marianne Keynes sort of like hype days, where I was just trying to find anything that was like that sort of vibe. I wasn't very good at it, to be honest, clearly by the number of books that I have gotten rid of. Yeah, I'm not interested in reading this anymore, and I don't want it on my shelves. And the final book that I'm getting rid of is the Writers and Artists Yearbook from 2016. I picked this up in a charity shop, and I think that was in 2018. It was useful to have to get like literary agent contact details, but we are now 7 years out of date with this, almost 8 years out of date. So I'm getting rid of this one. I really want to like get a newer version of it, just so I've got something with a bit more up-to-date information. I have self-published. I would like to traditionally publish at some point in the future, My tongue is falling all over my words. I do want to pick up a newer version of this, but I just think this one's probably a little bit too out of date for me now, so I'm just going to get rid of it. So that is all the books that I am planning on unhauling for the end of this year. I don't know if I've got more to unhaul, but I know that these ones are the ones that I like put aside specifically to be like, these need to go and get these out of my house. If anyone wants one of these books, let me know, because I will be putting some of these up on Vinted. I'm not sure if all of them will be. I'm going to try and donate some. I'm going to try and zip it some of them, but I just need to get them out of my house, and if I could get them into someone else's hands who I think would appreciate them a lot more, I think that would be a lot better. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, and if you want to see more of our videos, don't forget to hit subscribe. There's a new one out every single week. I hope you're well and you're all staying safe, and until next time, bye!